YouTube link. Durgara, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The session will not end, right? The Zoom link is still the same, right?
Same Zoom link, ma'am. We don't change any links, ma'am.
Okay, you just have to shift from one YouTube live to the other.
Yes, ma'am. We will do it, ma'am. You can continue, ma'am. No problem.
Okay. Should.
Okay, so now we are formally going into the discussion session. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So I think I have just to kind of shout out to the other faculty who are here. Umesh is here, I can see from the photo, and maybe you can just put a bracket in your name with faculty so that people can identify. There's Moshami, I can see. Yeah, there's Suhail also. So I think this is our last interaction session. So yeah, there's a bunch of people here kind of to say bye and to answer questions. So yeah, I'm happy that they're here, so I'm not on the spot too much.
Hey, Robin, but are you done with your question answer session?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's seamlessly going on.
Robin, there are a few questions in the form. I have shared it with you.
Okay, just.
Yeah, Robin, maybe if you take another 5 minutes or so or 10 minutes to address the questions, and then we can say a collective bye.
Yeah, I just saw the question in the form. It's huge. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Rishika, I think these are very, let's say, advanced questions. Rishika has a set of questions which are actually fairly detailed, and I understand that it's not possible to go into that much detail at this point. So I'll take some questions and I'll just read them out and then I'll answer them. So one says that each technology has its caveats. What is the advantage of next generation sequencing? I mean, even with next generation sequencing, there are different kinds of sequencing that you do. You do, low coverage. You do like full coverage sequencing. So there are different depths, different extents of sequencing that you can do. So it depends on the question that you ask. And I would just absolutely stress not on the technology. I mean, it's important to know the technology, but I think I would stress on the questions that you ask, the ecology of the species, and refer you back to Suhail's, that classic talk about the study design. And I think that is what should dictate what tools you use, not the other way. So yeah, next generation sequencing is also very expensive, but it's not required sometimes for answering simple questions. For example, for sexing a bird, it's just a simple primer that'll do. Yeah. Anthropogenic effects on genetic diversity. I think the problem with genes per se is that, and genetic effects is that it takes time for it to accumulate. So it needs more time. So that is one of the issues with anthropogenic effects. Yeah. Low haplotype diversity of GIB. Yeah. So I mean, when I was listening to that talk that I gave later, I realized that maybe things have got a bit too technical. But haplotype is just a sequence. It's there in one of the slides, and it's a unique sequence of a particular. So if you say cytochrome B, that's a gene, and you have a sequence. And if that exact sequence is there in another individual, that's the same haplotype. Yeah, so it's haplotype diversity is some way of looking at genetic diversity. I hope that answers the question. Those are very detailed questions. Thanks, Rishika, for engaging us and pushing us a little bit in this direction. Some questions on the D group are not answered. Sorry, Krishnapriya, could you elaborate? What is the D group? Discussion group. Oh. Well, I mean, so Jobin has a has a very detailed sheet of all the questions. We'll look at them again. If something's been missed out, we'll kind of get back to that. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Krishnapriya. So I'm kind of losing track of what's happening now, but I think we can open out to the general session now. Sohail, over to you.
Over to me. Okay, I don't quite know. I don't know. The other faculty, can you switch your videos on? Devika and a bunch of others. I can't see everybody on the screen. Oh, they don't all appear on the same screen. No, that's the problem. There we go. Moshmi, Jaipal, great. Okay. I don't know, Robin, nothing much to say. Just wanted to, since it's the last session, and somebody asked for another question answer session, which I'm not sure will be possible with all faculty together. But you know, do review all. Remember, just for the final exam. Sorry, because there are lots of questions about the final exam. Everything that will be in the final exam will have been covered in one or the other of the lectures. Questions from the final exam are not from the additional material. The additional reading material is optional reading material for you to explore further if you wish. But that's not part of the curriculum. It's not part of the final exam. Devika, correct me if I'm wrong. So everything is there. If there's a clarification that you need, you know, please write on the discussion group. We are struggling to keep up with all the questions there, but we'll try our best. What else to say about nothing else about the final exam. So those who are taking the final exam, about 10% of those registered, but 5,000 people registered, 500 have registered for the 5,000 people for the course as a whole, 500 for the exam. All the best to you. For the rest of you, we hope you enjoyed the course. This is the first time teaching this kind of course for us, and also for most of us, first time teaching an exclusively online course. So it was a learning experience for us. As you will have noticed, I guess, from the fact that not all of our interactions have been and presentations as polished as they could have been. But your feedback is extremely crucial, and this course will be repeated next year and beyond as well, I hope. And we would like to make changes and improvements. And some of those changes and improvements we can guess at ourselves, but most of the key improvements, of course, will have to come from the suggestions will have to come from you as participants, as students in the course. So please make sure that you do send feedback in whatever way. There are feedback forms. Please send on the discussion group if you wish to. You can send to one of us personally if you don't want to send to the entire group. Either way, we'll collate all of that and we'll make it available. Sorry, not to you, but to us. We'll take that into account. Oh yes, one final thing to say is, just as a reminder, there's a mix, a half mix among the 5,000 who registered of students and academics, so students and faculty who are taking this course, those who are in degree programs or who are teaching degree programs. And the other half consists of enthusiasts, bird watchers and other people who are interested in birds, who are not in any academic program and may not actually be that interested in the academic aspects. And just to reiterate what we said at the beginning of the course, this has been an academic focused course because we could not create a course that is everything for everyone. We had to have a focus. NPTEL is an academic platform. People do take these courses for academic credit, and so therefore the emphasis has really been on the academic aspects of birds, so ornithology, the academic discipline of ornithology. Those of you, if anybody are on this particular meeting and you come from the non-academic side and found it too technical for your liking, all we can do is apologize for it and say that hopefully soon, in a year or two, there will be courses like this, but focused on a non-academic audience, on an enthusiast audience. We will continue doing the NPTEL course for the academic audience, but hopefully there will be other courses that are aimed at a more general audience, which will not go into as much technical detail as we've gone into in this course. That's all I have to say. I invite others, Moshmi, Devika, Jaipal, anybody else here, and Robin, of course, to add any thoughts of yours before we close.
May I, as a participant, interrupt a bit?
If it's very brief, sir, because we have many participants, so I don't think everybody can be given an intervention.
I mean, can we have some material on, I mean, maybe not as a part of the course, maybe later on, if you could enlighten us on some study on this, how these owls are used as, this post for this black magic and some kind of things. We had some hint in these case studies that were presented some time back.
Yes, we have some colleagues who work specifically on owls, and we can try and get that to you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Jaipal?
Thanks, Sugil. No, nothing much to add. In fact, as students, I thoroughly enjoyed listening because I also followed up all the classes, listened to all the classes and things like Maushmi's population ecology, Umesh's community ecology, Robin's, of course, conservation genetics and other things. And your course was research methodology and other things, thoroughly enjoyable. So I understand there's more than, I think, 450 questions have been asked in the open forum, discussion forum. And so many of them probably repeat questions, and we would probably, we'll get back to those questions once the faculty members have some time to these things. And quite even interacting with the participants is quite nice. In fact, some of the questions are very, I didn't expect so basic, and it was quite nice. So thank you all. So that's all, Sugate. Thanks, Devika, and you to organizing this.
Thanks, Jaipal. Moshmi?
Hi. So from my perspective, I think the only challenge was from our end, it was pretty one way, like because of the online format, and it was not live. So everything was recorded. So I really missed that bit of seeing the reactions of the students as we are talking, because often that gives us hints on where to expand upon certain things when we see blank faces. So that's something really missing. So I really hope that what we were able to offer was useful to most of you. We have tried our best to answer the questions that you have asked in the discussion forum, and we'll, as Suhail pointed out, we'll continue to keep an eye and address them as much as we can. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Moshmi. Umesh?
Umesh just lost power.
Oh, okay. Robin, I'd like Devika to have the last word. So Robin, will go with you.
Yeah, well, I don't have much to add. I just spoke for 1.5 hours or so. But thanks everybody. I think it was great having this mix of people. I think it was a strength that we have academic and non-academics in the same group, because the kinds of questions and the directions that people were kind of pushing us to, that was very interesting, and some refreshing ideas came up and so on. So I think, I've enjoyed it, and we are hoping to continue the course, and probably we are thinking of some other modules that we can add on later, some advanced modules. This was actually a basic course, so although I think we heard feedback that some of the content was advanced and so on. So we'll have some advanced content later on. So yeah, catch you all later.
Thanks, Robin. Just checking, Umesh is back. Umesh, you there? No. Okay, Umesh got kicked out. Devika. So Devika, if you don't know, all of you, Devika has not been, is not a formal faculty member on the course, but has coordinated everything. She's managed things behind the scenes. And I just want to, and of course, Jobin is here. Jobin, I think, is here. He was the teaching assistant for the course and has been with us throughout, working really hard on both evaluating some of the assignments as well as answering questions. So Devika, Jobin, maybe you go first. Anything to add, anything to say?
Yeah, Jobin, you should also turn on your video and say hi.
Yeah, so people know what you look like. Jobin refuses. Jobin?
No,
Yes.
I don't refuse. I'm just
there you go.
okay. I wasn't prepared.
Oh, nice background.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, we have TA'd before in during the PhD, but this was something rather different, and yeah, I mean, I think I learned a lot. But that is something to be seen in the future. But yeah, I mean, it was a great experience.
Thanks, Jobin. Just to let you know, Jobin and Robin both, I think, are joining from Tirupati. A few of us, Devika, Umesh, and I are in Bangalore. Jaipal is in Coimbatore. And some of the other faculty, Anand is based in Bhopal, Manjari is based in Mohali. So the faculty, of course, come from a mix of institutions, a mix of geographic locations in the country. And of course, the participants do as well. So it's been really, the weaknesses of the online course system is that interaction is minimal. But the strength is that we can bring together many people who are both in faculty and in participants who we wouldn't otherwise be able to do. So I just thought to flag that. Devika, the last word is yours.
Well, thanks, Suhail. It was my first time helping coordinate a course, and I must say it was great. Honestly, when we started out, seeing that 5,045 participants registered for the course was a bit overwhelming I guess, for all of us. But I think with such great faculty and great participants, it went quite smooth. Or that is what I hope. And thanks a lot. I learned a lot from this whole course about coordinating and about ontology, of course. It was great knowing all faculty and knowing that all participants. They come from different parts of the country, from different backgrounds. So I guess, yeah, it was really nice getting to know all of you. And although the interaction was minimum, hopefully in the future we will interact a lot more. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the next course, which we have already started talking about.
Great, thanks, Devika. Also, just to mention NPTEL, I said Devika will have the last word, but I think I will, sorry. Mention NPTEL. None of us here on the faculty, Devika, Jobin, we're not associated with NPTEL at all. We're all in different institutions, academic institutions, NGOs. But the backbone of all of this has been NPTEL, the national program, I think, on technology enhanced learning. And they are running, by the way, 590 courses simultaneously. We are only one of those. And if there are 5,000 students registered in this course, imagine the total of multiple lakhs of students taking courses, online courses. Multiple lakhs of students will be writing the exam as well in 160 physical exam locations across the country, and I think 5 or 10 outside India as well. So it is just a phenomenal thing that they are running and they put together. And so please do, I know that there's been frustrations with some of the things like putting up transcripts and so on. I mean, I would say let's please, excuse these small delays and so on, because the scale of the job they're doing is simply massive. And so we should appreciate what they do. Certainly we do from our side as faculty. And if you feel so as well, feel free to drop them a line. I'm sure they'll appreciate just getting a one-line email or something saying that, just appreciating what they do. And just to say, in keeping in touch, we'll be sending out an email to all registered participants with a few extra resources, events, and ways to keep in touch after the course ends. For example, we have a Telegram group for student ornithologists, and we'll be sending out the link to join that Telegram group, and there we can all participate. It really is focused on on students in degree programs. And for those who are not students in degree or faculty in degree programs, there'll be other ways to keep in touch with the ornithology community, and we'll send that out in the email. So do look out for that email. It'll come today or tomorrow into your inboxes, and let's keep in touch that way. Yeah. So, Robin, you are done with your questions. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You're done with your questions. Okay, Robin's exhausted. All right. Thank you all. Thank you also for the compliments and so on in the chat box. Sorry, we're not able to respond to each of those, but thank you. See you in the future. The community of people who are interested in birds is relatively small, so I'm sure we'll come across each other sooner rather than later in the wide world out there. Thank you. All the best. Stay safe. Take care. Bye.
Bye.